In this video, we have to find conjugate and absolute value of following complex numbers. Remember, another name of absolute value is modulus. First question is -1 plus 7 iota. Always remember, in conjugate, we change the sign of imaginary part. To find the conjugate, we keep the real part same and change the sign of imaginary part. So plus 7 iota becomes -7 iota. Therefore, the conjugate is -1 minus 7 iota. Now we have to find absolute value. First, suppose z equal -1 plus 7 iota. Then find absolute value. Now to find absolute value, we use the formula. Modulus of z is equal to square root of real part square plus imaginary part square. So modulus of z is equal to square root of -1 whole square plus 7 whole square minus 1 square is equal to +1, and plus 7 square is equal to 49. So it becomes square root of 1 plus 49. Now 1 plus 49 equal 50. So final answer is square root of 50. The second question is -3 minus 4 iota. Now we have to find conjugate and absolute value. First, conjugate. To find the conjugate, we just change the sign of the imaginary part. So -4 iota becomes +4 iota. Therefore, the conjugate is -3 plus 4 iota. Now, absolute value. To find the absolute value, first let z equal -3 minus 4 iota. To find the absolute value, take the real part and imaginary part, square both, add them, and then take the square root. Here, the real part is -3 and the imaginary part is -4. Square -3, we get 9. Square -4, we get 16. Now add them. 9 plus 16 gives 25. Take the square root of 25, which is 5. Final answer. Conjugate is -3 plus 4 iota. Absolute value is 5. The third question is square root 7 minus 3 iota. Let's start the solution. We are given a complex number, square root of 7 minus 3 iota. First, understand its parts. The part square root of 7 is the real part. The part -3 iota is the imaginary part. So we can say real part is square root of 7. Imaginary part is -3. If you need conjugate, then just change the sign of the imaginary part. So -3 becomes +3. So conjugate is square root of 7 plus 3 iota. Now we have to find absolute value. Square root of 7 whole square plus -3 whole square. Hence, square root of 7 square becomes 7. -3 square becomes 9. Add them. 7 plus 9 equals 16. Square root of 16 is 4. So the absolute value is 4. The next question is square root of 3 iota. That means real part is 0. Imaginary part is square root of 3. In conjugate, real part stays same. Imaginary part changes its sign. Real part is 0, so it stays 0. Imaginary part is plus square root of 3, so it becomes minus. So conjugate is minus square root of 3 iota. Absolute value. First, let z equal 0 plus square root 3 iota. Take square of real part and imaginary part, then add and take square root. Square of 0 is 0. Square root of 3 becomes 3. Add them. 0 plus 3 equals 3. So absolute value is square root of 3. The next question 4 is 4 plus 5 iota. Let's start the solution. Here real part is 4 and imaginary part is plus 5. In conjugate, we change the sign of imaginary part. So conjugate becomes 4 minus 5 iota. In this question, we have to find the modulus of a complex number. Another name of modulus is absolute value. The given complex number is z equals 4 plus 5 iota. We know the formula. Modulus of complex number is equal to square root of real part squared plus imaginary part squared. Here in question, the real part is 4 and the imaginary part is 5. Now substitute the values. Modulus of z equals square root of 4 square plus 5 square. Square of 4 is 16 and square of 5 is 25. This becomes square root of 16 plus 25. Now add them. 16 plus 25 equals 41. So the modulus or absolute value of z is equal to square root of 41. And this is the final answer.